to talk to y'all boys, man. You know what? I'm not gonna let Cry Dion come out. There's no point in letting Cry Dion. I thought for a second, your boys trying to turn to God, y'all. I'm not trying to put like my pinky toe in no more. I'm not gonna just be sitting on the edge of the pool. I want to jump full in. I want to dive all in, chat. So that's all I'm gonna say. But you know, I don't want to just talk the talk. I want you guys to like see it in my actions. You feel me? I was with my girl. We were Ubering back from her call.
We heard this last night.
Hey, how my day's gonna go? You feel me? You got people out here that are battling cancer, having horrible, like, you know, being victims of horrible crimes and all kinds of stuff, right? And they still have the ability to put a smile on their face and be genuinely happy. I get a strike on my channel and I'm not able to post for a week. I'm over here in the slumps. You would have thought my dog died, chat, the way I was around here acting when I was gone for that week, bro. Just pouting, being moody, being rude to people. The only reason why I was acting like that is because I'm letting worldly things dictate how my spirit is. And like,
now I will stand 10 toes as to what I said last night on the pod. And I think that there's even more to listen to, so that's why I really want to bring it back up. I stand 10 toes as to what I said last night on the pod. I don't think that he would have this same sentiment if he did not view his content to be toxic. If he didn't view his content to be negative or whatever the case may be. Now, I don't think it says retiring from what. Like, I never specifically understand the retiring for what. But I told y'all when like the whole EDP situation was going on, I was on Jadion's Rumble stream. I was on his Kick stream because he multi-streams on all these platforms. But I was watching it when he was in his Discord. And I've talked to Jadion before. I'm not saying I talked to him like Agent was talking about in the playback video, because he definitely talks to him more. But I've had conversations with him when he's come to the AMP house. And just like all these other people, he's an actual person. He has actual conversation. He can actually put a thought together, and we can discuss it. And so in the moment that I was watching the Kick stream, I saw Jadion trying to have an actual conversation. And so he was bringing people up on stage in his Discord. And the only thing that was like, not the only thing that was happening, he was asking a serious question. He was posing a serious question. And then he would bring up somebody and they would troll. And then he would bring up somebody else and they would troll. And he would bring up somebody else and they would troll. And the way his face was like, yeah, that's cool. So like, let me bring the next person up here because I'm trying to really get to the conversation. And you would bring the next person up and they would troll. And you could kind of see like, yo, I'm trying to have a serious conversation, but everybody keeps trolling. This shit is getting tiring. This shit is getting absolutely tiring. It was weighing on him. Now, if he was making cooking content, Joshua Wiseman, J. Kenji Lopez alt content or whatever, if he was making Casey Neistat vlog content, if he was giving his commentary and opinions, Keith Lee, if he was doing those things, I don't think he would feel this way. But because he's made this content and because this content has cultivated this type of audience, I think that he now is taking this scope, this viewpoint, and it's like, I got to figure out a way to pivot. Plus, what was said last night was, and Agent said it in the playback video, yo, he might be wanting to take a break. And it's hard because this type of content, they lobby for eyes. The worst part about this type of content, and I think Jadion has done a pretty decent job at it though. The worst type of part about this content is that, do you have viewers or do you have an audience? Right? Do you have people that view you for the shock value, the craziness, the insaneness, or whatever the case may be? So you get a lot of views. You got a lot of views. Or do you have an audience that genuinely likes you, relates to you, can fuck with you, and consume your content? Now, I think that Jadion has a good mix of both. But I say that to say, if he was burnt out and he had an audience, he could take a break. He has no problem taking a break. He can pop back up. Again, I not like his content. That's why I keep referring to him. I think that's why Casey Neistat can do that. Casey Neistat can come back. He can post for 5 months. He can dip back out. He's got bread that he sits on, take care of his family. He can come back. He can make his same content. Nothing has changed. He has an audience that likes his stuff. If I got an alert right now that Casey Neistat was doing a video or did a video, I would stop this and we would watch that video. But when you have viewers, if you're not constantly in their face, you're going to get forgotten about. You're going to get forgotten about. So that makes it, it's just a, it's just a thought. It's just an opinion. It could be wrong.
The Bible talks about it all the time. You can't be moved by the world. You have to hate the world. Chat, like, it's crazy. Like, Jesus is telling me that I have to hate the world, but the world loves me. You feel me? And that's like a honest predicament that I thought I was in. But really, it's an easy solution, bro. Like, if I'm going to follow the Spirit, I'm not going to have a problem putting away worldly things. And I just had to, like, look at myself, chat, and I had to just think, if I do follow Jesus, if I do follow his word to tooth and nail of what it is, front to back, then I'm not going to be Jadeon anymore. I'm not going to be popping. I'm not going to be on your guys' For You pages with edits. I'm not going to be having the ASAP Rockies and the Mark Wahlbergs hit me up. I'm not going to be having the NBA ask me to do stuff. And for the longest, chat, like, I've been pushing this off for like the last year and a half, 2 years. But I was like, I'm not ready yet. Like, I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet. But after that lady got done talking to me, it was like, if I were to die right now, with me chopping it up with ASAP Rocky, with me chopping it up with Mark Wahlberg or Mark Cuban, or going to the Simon charity match, would any of that really matter, chat?
And I also think the other thing too is like, I'm starting to come around the corner too that a lot of these traditional celebrities or whatever the case may be are seeing that the influencer way and being a part of that influencer wave is going to keep them relevant. So are they being used? Am I talking to them to truly push something bigger, better, create, real friendships, long lasting? Or am I just here because Mark Cuban is shilling off some stuff? Am I here because ASAP Rocky is shilling off some stuff? Am I here because the NBA is shilling off some stuff? And again, it's about how you build your platform. But if they're here just shilling off some stuff, just selling something, does any of it matter? Does me sitting down with these guys, does that matter at this point? Or if I'm actually building a true, genuine connection and relationship and not just trying to be in the mix, something like that will probably matter more.
No, it really wouldn't. Jesus tells us in the Bible, it's easier for a needle to go through a camel than for a rich man to go to heaven. And chat, man, thanks to you guys, I've acquired a very nice fortune, and I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but this fortune that I have on earth
Jesus
is
Christ.
nothing compared to the fortune I can have in the kingdom of heaven. This is just me, like, really talking to y'all. Like, this is me trying to just be so 100% transparent. But God tells us that a bird doesn't have to worry about where he's going to get his next meal from. And then he said, are you not better than a bird? I'm way better than a bird. So why am I tripping? You know the crazy thing about it, chat? I'm going to just spill the beans to y'all, bro. I'm going to be honest. So I was about to take a gambling deal, chat. I was about to do a deal with my bookie. I was giving myself so many reasons to take the deal. I was like, oh, I could pay my employees more. I'll be able to do cool events. I was trying to trick my brain into saying, oh, I'll be able to work more directly with these sporting companies and everything. Chat, bro, I was going to be making a lot of money.
Millions of dollars.
And for minimum work. But that's the reason why it's minimum work, is because, like, you guys clicking that link to the gambling page would be making up what they're paying me.
Millions
you feel
of
me?
dollars.
Because I even talked to Nico about it, right? And I was like, yo, Nico, man, I think I'm gonna do it. And Nico was like, don't do it, bro. Like, You're not that person. I was giving Nickel every excuse under the bus, and he was just like, man, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but this isn't you, bro. And he was like, don't do it. My spirit was telling me not to do it, but I was just listening to my flesh, man.
And Agent talked about this on his stream too, or on the playback of video too. Um, I 100%, 1,000%, and this is like big ups to them for not, taking these deals. Because people are real life gambling addicts. People are real life addicts. And being a part of creating, how do I want to say? Creating an addict or enabling an addict or, starting the next generation of addicts through your influence or whatever the case may be. Just saying that you had your hand in that, I don't know. That is a tough pill to swallow. That is a tough, place to land in. That's why they say there are no ethical billionaires, even millionaires or whatever the case may be. And some people like to point out like LeBron James, but LeBron James has Nike shoes. He has a 20-year relationship with Nike, and Nike shoes are made in Chinese sweatshops. So you just have to have these conversations with yourself. And if you're not okay with it, then I totally understand. Now, I see people talking about let's keep it a buck there. One, we don't make as much money, and two, ultimately, it seems like we're okay with it. I don't know. But I think the deals that what Jadian is talking about, he weighed his audience. He weighed how much reach he has. He weighed what these people would have to do with this deal, with this link or whatever the case may be, and how that would affect them long term. And he said to himself that this doesn't fit. Now for us, I don't even think that process was that deep. Like the thought process was that deep. We don't make as much money. They weren't offering as much money. What we did, it wasn't gonna be the most extreme thing. And then what people were doing to get onto the site wasn't that extreme either, right? And the value that they get from the individuals didn't seem to be as huge. But like Agent said on his stream, if they're offering a 9-figure gambling deal to you as an influencer, what do you think they're getting out of the user for them? And they're talking about different apps. They're talking about like straight gambling. Not sports betting, just straight gambling. And I know it's adjacent, but we're talking about something, a little different.
Bro, I'm telling you guys, do not listen to your flesh, bro. And you guys might be wondering, like, what are you saying by that? You'll know when you're in that circumstance. Do not give in to your flesh. Your flesh hates everything that your spirit's about, and the spirit wants nothing to do with everything that the flesh is about. So there's never a gray area with those things, It's either black and white. That's one of the things in life. That's one of the only things in life that's black and white is your flesh. So the flesh and the spirit, what they both want. Fast forward, it's getting closer and closer to us finishing the deal and stuff. And then I was talking to Young Don, and he read this one verse, and I hadn't even told him about this yet. But here, let me find it for y'all real quick. Then he told them a parable. A rich man's land was very productive. He thought to himself, what should I do since I don't have anywhere to store my crops? I will do this, he said. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones and store all my grain and my goods there. Then I'll say to myself, you have many goods stored up for many years. Take it easy, eat, drink, and enjoy yourself. Bro, chat, the crazy thing about it is I literally had a number in my head. I was like, once I get to this number, I'll be good and my children are going to be good and I'll just be chilling, bro, Like I was still going to be creating content here and there, but like I had a number in just like how he did, I had a number in my head and I was going to store up to that number. I was going to store up in my barn to that number and I was going to take it easy. I was going to eat, I was going to drink, and I was going to enjoy myself, right? And then in verse 20, but God said to him, you fool, this very night your life is demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be? Chat, there's nothing on this earth When you die, that is yours. There is nothing that you own. Once we're in the dirt, once we're gone, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like, oh, that's his, he's still gonna hold on to it. It's free real estate, you know? If someone dies and they don't have nobody in their will, what happens? The government takes it. If someone dies and their bank account's been sitting there for a while, what's gonna happen? The bank's gonna take it. There's nothing in this world that when we die is ours.
I
And then in
I agree with this general sentiment, and I don't want to bog down the segment here, but I agree with the general sentiment. The only thing that I have to say, is, and it's sad that I have to say it, is this legit or is this content? Is this legit or is this content? And it's sad that this has to be said about this stuff, because this is genuinely like a good reason. You know, nobody's gonna question your faith, et cetera, et cetera. However, the way that, you know, a lot of these types of content creators, or whatever the case may be, have built their platforms, it makes you question the validity to some of this stuff. And that's crazy. That is crazy. But sadly, you got to do it. So, you know, we'll see it. We'll believe it when we see it. I hate that it has to be this way, but it is what it, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It wouldn't shock me if this was not real. It really wouldn't.